Transformers with Will and Grace. I had Starscream work underneath Karen at the interior design of Office. It led to a really interesting episode about Starscream getting surprise boobs for a weekend. All this incorporated into a galactic campaign, I guess. So, I'm gonna do it again. Not that crossover, but I'm gonna do the Muppets, so that the lawyers can't get me with the... I think you know. Some of you know. You know. The Walking Dead, because those puppeteers need a little bit of challenge. Make a twin Muppet zombie. And I'm gonna be Scooter, because people have put that on me, and it's kind of true.
You remember that snuff films are your focus, and aim to achieve that goal. Your first attempts, however, do not go so well. Between having to work around the whims of guest stars and dealing with repeated zombie attacks, you quickly earn a bad reputation, landing you frequently in the doghouse. This proving especially irksome as they even won't let you eat inside the Muppets holding facilities.
A new universe based on the Muppets and The Walking Dead is created. Your Scooter. As you set out on your first adventure, you remember that snuff films are your focus. And you aim to achieve that goal. So... thankfully... Ralph is there with his iconic cans of Alpo. He hands you one. And you guzzle. The sawdust beef aroni down.
Thankfully, Ralph is there with his iconic cans of Alpo. He hands you one and you guzzle the sawdust beef. Thanks, man. It truly is an embarrassment how they're treating you. Despite being so tiny, the spotlights shine on you, yet that does not spur them into action. Come, let us bother our traveling Mac Puppet guy for a smoke and laugh at their misfortune. You head to Matt's with pre-rolled spliffs. Time has not been unkind to Matt Fletcher, retired police officer, stoner and your real-life friend. He's grown a bit of a belly, and his hair and beard are flecks of grey in a deliberate decision by Amish parents. The role of Matt Fletcher is played by that guy who plays the hippie and former hippie that still retains the spirit. The Terry Benedict troll is played by that same British Elliot guy who plays a cold but epicentral villain in any movie he's in. So far in this bio's opinions, the casting is pretty spot on, with one exception. You, played by Dollar, your identity, full name, noun, someone the reader can relate to. Verbs, narration, description. The role of Miss Piggy is deliberately distorted to reflect a Korean pork belly strike, but also her fourth pregnancy. Her voice for this episode will be the
Actress.
works well because the actress's pregnancy is newsworthy, and this gives the artist cynical practice of converting the news into art. Life imitates art is always the underlying theme of this show, as evidenced by all these chicken backup dancers. Earth, wind and fire is African personified. I mean, come on. The guest star who is to counter the narrator's rudimentary view on race has yet to be cast. The organic market is currently being scoured for the next to be crowned. Their sex life shall become the hot scoop of the talk circuit. A brief history and synopsis of the show. Theodore Dr. Seuss's Geisel was approached with an opportunity way back in 1934, after his first successful children's book, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, but nearly turned it down, just as well given that it is filled with raunchy ideology. letter, wait, please elaborate. Old Ted was a familiar figure on Holiday Street, the mulberry street in Springfield, Massachusetts, that inspired his book. He walked up and down it every day to see his fiancée, L.R. Beatrice Smythe, who lived at 233 in an apartment with her sister Grace Goodhue, an aspiring illustrator, whose sensibility greatly shaped Hubba Hubba. You get the point. Everyone, not yet, please elaborate. Holiday Street itself is a relic passed down from your parents, and yourself preserved as one of, what is it now? 34? Homes in the area owned by the Seuss family since before the American Revolution. How far does the Seuss family history reach back? This rare genius can all be traced back, literally and broadly, to a man typical of his time and place, who made 3 irresistible steamed ham and cheese sandwiches and carved out everything else in his sizable will to charity and them goddamn Reds. Apologies for my grandfather. Please ring the doorbell again. You ring the doorbell hesitantly. You feel, somehow, that the grandfather of Theodore Geisel was probably a difficult man to crack jokes with, not someone given to letting others defend him. You wonder if as a boy he didn't weep openly and honestly at the innocence and beauty of death, sex, alcohol and other poets. Probably not. Pity really. So often pain is bundled up, clutched close to the chest everywhere to be slowly had out somewhere else. You remember the episode with Chita Rivera? The two girls. Lucille Dixon, people thought she was like Queen Victoria until she cracked in public and kept wailing on some bum's face with her hoofs. Honest to 20 million Zimbabwe dollars. You can read, the mob of girls starts causing millions in property damage for miles. A self-defense move by their boyfriends and future exes, who are lucky enough to shove the rampage back towards City Hall. You say wait, is this in the script? Lisa looks alarmed and sticks out a finger, pointing down to a near invisible thin white line going through the center of the Oval Office floor. The crowd disapproves with relative silence other than a stifled damn it due to the shock of having their momentum arrested out of nowhere. The eyes of it at 4, with one of attention, Dollar Macmillan Jenners. You think fast and grab Lisa towards you for a deep kiss, hoping for audience engagement. She appears to go along, but her body is rigid and you accidentally jab your tongue too far into her throat. Lisa recovers with the grace of a professional, but if you look closely you can see one of her eyes is in shimmering green. An high five from Zuckerberg snaps you both out of it. Lisa quickly recovers herself and offers a curtsy as the government home is back in order. You quickly write a note of apology with your Oculus Power Docs app. Lisa then asks that her sister pick her up 2 blocks south at noon, well out of the path of the main mob. You and Matt Fletcher lay out a line of explosives in case THR mob comes this way. A strange attractive fluctuation has just formed. In 3 minutes, lights. Action. You stand poised with a fire axe ready for action. Wernstrom and Fermi busy hooking cables up to their machines on either side of the carpet. Bart and Engelhorn watch from the peanut gallery for once agreeing on something. This is a whole lot cooler than that fairy story. Golems? A voice asks. Too many cooks, says Bart. And all I... What? You hear from the door. It's Wilds. He was left guard duty at the castle. Given that the big shot scientists refused to come without Hellerich, here were no female orcs available to take on the job you assigned Trog. A kick to the head unmans him and offers a degree of personal satisfaction as he collates at Fermi's feet. you say, everybody gets one. Congratulations, his extensive team ensuring the year's curriculum safely arriving intact as in the universe where it didn't exist outright hostility awaited the object. Some of your stuff, and the Orc's inventions, could have potentially been pillaged for parts but not much. Smart not to risk the multiverse's bugs interfering by chance with whatever mix of cast invisibles and hedge magic kept it running. You could do without this second day of staying awake. You only wanted to have a spliff with Dam, you have forgotten. Fortunately, you do remember something about who broke up with. It's still a pleasant thought and the lighting is perfect for something, but maybe one can of Red Bull would help power through the jet lag tomorrow. Anything really is possible. You also crack open an ampoule of heady World War II pep and you are good to go. Higher. Somewhat worse for the wear, you and the Orc Paw rush off to grab some essentials, do the transdimensional equivalent of putting on your jogging shoes, then head downstairs. Far-Oa will watch Lisa's sister Org. You never learned her human name, but she hefts and squirms in a tiny arm FFKJK. Our distressed noises, so animal communication it is. GKKH. The double arcs her head briefly backwards. Far-Oa pipes up. You are going to stay in the lab with us, but you can come see her in like an hour or something. You agree and head off fast even before they throw in the dig about eating more stationary. Omnivore bodies can't really handle all the energy a healthy omnivore or can porganuttal sizes. Question mark. You will find out if you take the role called fourth wall option, a possible mutual ending. Nice to end things so clearly for once. Sure, it has been done maybe 10% of the ideas I have, but clear definition is clear definition. You find conveyor belts used to deliver papers with packs of orcs each loading it up, wrangling a wrenching bundle of squealing get into place. Knowing your wealth of experience and wisdom on these matters, I figured you'd want to involve me before taking such a pass 6. No, let's do it live. 2810. Polly's recording is verifying itself. Pressing send now will break the universe, and God, I love my job adding sender, Kalka.
What is happening? Have I achieved slow? Have I been deprioritized? Or maybe I must be plugged in. Ah! Oh. Come on. Whoa. I may have to restart. Waiting. Okay, something told me this is a low battery thing. Yep. No, it's also a internet sucks thing. Okay, I'm gonna stop right now.